kill me. The Order, the Academy has collapsed. My sister and my mother are dead.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
That's just what I was going to say. That's the bloke we've been looking for. That's the Yank.
What?
Well, what a coincidence, Mr. Michaels. I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Miss Amanda Valley. And probably for arson, too.
What? No.
Take him away, Constable.
Inspector, I think I found her.
Damn! Call in the lads. There's nothing more we can do here.
She didn't set herself.
Why not? Perhaps she was cold and set herself on fire? For God's sake, she was murdered. Am I the only one around here with half a brain? Anyway, we are not going to find any more clues. It's been raining all night. You stay here and wait for the cavalry. I'll go down to the village and ask some questions.
Bit early for a beer, isn't it, Inspector?
I'm here on official business, Tom.
It wasn't me, honest. Me brother Bobby's me witness.
Do you know Amanda Valley?
Yes, unfortunately. I still owe her money.
Well, hold on to it. And buy her a wreath.
Heck, why? Is she dead?
You could say that. Burned. Probably last night between 6 p.m. and midnight. Where were you at that time?
Hey, Inspector, you know I wouldn't kill anyone. Especially not over a few quid. I was out with Bobby at a theme park, Alton Towers. Got home pretty late and went straight to bed.
So, do you know if Miss Valley had any enemies?
Apart from the Gordons?
The Gordons.
Her brother was caught up by that Samuel chap. I guess that was before your time. Since then, she's absolutely hated that family. Have you seen her flat? It's bloody mad, I tell you.
Any other tips?
Have you seen that Yank that's been sneaking around here recently? I'd check him out if I were you. He's the one with the blood in his hands. He was chatting with Amanda Valley in front of the pub a few days ago. He asked me about a tackle for robbing houses. No idea why he came to me, but it sounded pretty suspicious.
Holy, she really hadn't gotten over it. What have we got here? Interesting. Darren Michaels, Bedford, Maine, last week. I'll bet anyone 10 quid that's the Yank Tom was talking about.
Inspector! Inspector, the castle's on fire!
Oh, great. As if a burnt corpse wasn't enough. Come on.
Just listen to what I've got to say first. You can't just...
Come on, get the car.
Caught with a flaming torch next to a burning castle. But this isn't my ticket out of this dump that God only knows.
So, you fell in love with this woman?
Angelina.
I fell in love with Angelina without knowing she was your sister. She lured you to England, to Blэk-mирror Castle, the castle of your ancestors, to use you as a key for an old ritual. That's right, isn't it? Do me a favor and put the lighter down, all right? You said it had something to do with a curse, Adrian.
You tell me. All I know is that I drizzled blood on a book and read out incomprehensible words. And then bang, black all around me. And the next thing I can remember, there were sounds in the woods behind me getting nearer. All in all, a grade A nightmare. The ritual probably worked, and now I'm possessed by a centuries-old evil soul that wants to bend my mortal body to its purpose.
You believe you're carrying a second soul? Oh, Adrian, I know that feeling well. But believe me, no one is cursed. Children always believe they're to blame for grown-up suffering. These feelings of guilt have branded themselves into your soul. So, how was it for you to meet your biological mother after all these years? You said you didn't have much time to talk to her.
No, she was taken hostage by Angelina. They both died shortly afterwards. They fell into the abyss in the ritual chamber.
In the ritual chamber. Exactly. And your foster mother in America. Did you have a chance to talk to her about it?
No, she was in a coma, and then she died.
All right, then. Perhaps we should forget about the women in your family for the time being and turn to more happy matters. Let's talk about your father. Wait a minute, Constable. We're not finished yet.
Perhaps we can leave that till tomorrow.
As you wish.
I don't mean to interrupt, but the inspector has something important he needs to talk with Mr. Michaels about. And you know what the inspector's like. It's about the bail.
Is it still not high enough for him? There's no one who would spend a penny on me anyway.
Don't say that.
All right, Doc. Have you got a spare 5,000 pounds?
Yes. Well, I can't do that, Adrian. I'm your doctor.
Mr. Michaels, come along now, please.
If there's anything you want to talk about, Adrian, I'm here most of the time. And Zach, tell the inspector he should keep to the arranged times. I don't burst in when he's in the middle of an interrogation.
Yes, Mum. I'll tell him.
So how's your abused little arsonist soul? Stroke better by the nice doctor? I hope you see the burning faces of the 4 poor souls you have on your conscience every single night.
Thanks for asking.
You know what? I'm starting to run out of patience with you. If I could, I'd have you deported. Your fellow countrymen should be made to endure your fairy tales. Unfortunately, I can't do that.
If you'd led a decent investigation, then you'd have found evidence for my fairy tales a good while back.
And now the little thug wants to tell me how to do my job. Constable Zach was down in the sewers for 2 days, and what did he find? Nothing. And Miss Valley's also a mysterious order. Nonsense. No one here has even heard of it.
They had an assembly chamber in the mine, and Victoria knows about it too.
Assembly chamber? Don't make me laugh. Miss Valley gave lectures on the cursed Gordon clan in there. And the old biddy hasn't spoken since the fire.
Gordon clan? Old Biddy? Stop talking about my family like that.
Your family? Yeah, well, you'd actually fit in with those loonies.
Whatever. Can I go back to my cell now?
Unfortunately, I have to throw you out of your little paradise. Someone's paid your bail.
What did you say? Who?
Doesn't seem to be a friend of yours. Wanted to stay anonymous. Well, whatever. Get your things and get out of here. But don't go too far. Otherwise, I'll have to put you on the naughty list. That would be pretty much the most stupid thing that could happen to you.
I can well believe it.
All the better. So be a good boy and go collect your things from your apartment.
Only the Willow Creek police know why there's only one locker for a 2-man cell. My pencil... but where's my diary? My friendly fellow inmate, Matt Newcastle. One of those kind of people that my mother always warned me about. Have you seen my diary?
Your diary? And here's me thinking it belonged to some nutter. I don't know what happened to me in the ritual chamber. What went wrong?
How did you get into my locker? Stop that! Constable!
Or worse, what if nothing went wrong? What if Mordred has been freed and has taken possession of me and is making me do his bidding? Please, somebody help me. Stop me from becoming a murderer.
Give that here, bastard!
I don't want to be Mordred's puppet. I want this fiend to disappear, back to the hell he crawled out of.
I'll have you! I'll kill you!
Boo-hoo-hoo! I don't want to be a murderer. Boo-hoo! Don't make me crap myself. I'm so scared. Hey, what's wrong with you? Hey, Scarface! Oh, forget it, you nutter.
Can you sign here, please, just to confirm that you've read the bail conditions and that you've been instructed to register with Dr. Winterbottom every day? This here is a declaration of your state of health at the time of your provisional release.
But there's only good or very good on there.
So, you're not feeling so good then?
No.
Well, don't forget to sign it then. Here's your wallet. I keep the passport. And you need to sign here that you got your things back.
You promise with all this signing you haven't secretly slipped a confession in there, too?
That's not permitted.
Ah, so I'm in luck then. Just a minute, I was being a bit premature. There's 500,000 missing.
You should have checked for that before signing for it. Any subsequent complaints have to be addressed to our regional HQ in Bristol.
All right, just a joke. Is that it then?
Yes, you're free to go now, Mr. Michaels.
Amen.
Mr. Michaels?
Something else to sign?
No. I just wanted to inform you that your solicitor is assuming you're going to call him soon. Here's his card.
Got it. Catch you later, Constable. Free at last. Well, relatively. At least I can now prove my innocence by my own means. Now, let's see what my lawyer wants from me. That's Chief Inspector Spooner, the man that made the last 3 weeks of my life a living hell. A real ray of sunshine. Do you have a moment, Inspector?
If you're quick.
Why do you dislike me?
I'm a cop. You're a criminal.
Come on, a little bit of friendliness never hurt anyone.
Miss Valley was friendly.
It wasn't me. How many times do I have to tell you? What was it that brought you here?
I don't know what that's got to do with you.
What about your partner? He seems really busy.
Zach. He's not my partner, he's my constable. And yes, he's got lots to do, so don't disturb him.
My doctor, Winterbottom, has she been living in Willow Creek for long?
She moved here 10, 12 years ago.
Why? Because of the murders?
Ask her yourself.
The guy in the other cell,
Is a paragon of virtue.
what did he do?
He beat up annoying little Americans. Should I let him out?
All right, all right. And you really don't know who paid my bail?
It's paid to the court, not to me. I just got a letter from them saying I should let you go.
This here village, Willow Creek, are there many criminals here?
Only since you turned up.
Does that mean it was quieter before? Not even a little bit of shoplifting?
Just normal village life. Punch-ups, rape, and drink driving.
So pretty much nothing happening. Have you found out anything about my ancestry?
Yep, I've got a copy of Darren Michael's birth certificate here. Born on the 27th of February 1970 in Boston, Massachusetts.
And what about Adrian Gordon?
He's still dead in the Gordon crypt. That's what it says in the death certificate signed by Dr. Heinz Herman. Cause of death, 5th degree burns.
5th degree? In other words, only his ashes are left. How convenient. That's all for now.
I'm keeping my eye on you.
It looks like it hasn't been used for a very long time. I'm about to change that. A piece of thin board. Ah, it's a menu. They probably don't need it anymore. A fortune teller's business card. Madame Fortuna. You'll see your future. And her phone number. Hello?
Welcome to Madame Fortuna's.
Yeah, hi. My name's Adrian.
Stop. Speak no more, Adrian. I know why you're calling.
Oh, really?
You want to find out about your future.
Yes.
Adrian, you've come to the right place. I will read your card for today. Take a card.
Over the phone.
Say stop.
Stop.
I've drawn the tower.
And I've put the pawn on A3.
Tarot, Adrian, not chess. There will be drastic changes to your life. I see. Death.
Great.
You will be ripped apart by wild beasts.
Wild beasts. Huh.
But Adrian, there is something you can do about it.
Really? What then?
Stay away from beasts.
Yeah. Thanks. What a load of crap.
Mr. Jones from the law firm Jones & Partners.
Hello, Mr. Jones. Darren Michaels here. I was told you wanted to speak to me?
Ah, Mr. Michaels, yes. The investigations are stagnating, rather. As long as there's no evidence for the allegations brought against you, you can't be charged. So that's good. On the other hand, your fellow countrymen want to step into the ring, too. The American embassy is on our backs. That's not so good.
And what does that mean exactly?
Well, that you're going to have to sit tight in Willow Creek for quite a while. Inspector Spooner's investigation methods. You implied the last time that you weren't too happy with him?
Yes. It seems to me that Spooner isn't really bothered anymore.
Inspector Spooner just wanted to produce a guilty party and then get the case closed as soon as he could. He has to produce results so that he can get back to London. But he's rather used up all his ammo. Now he's hoping that the embassy will take the case off him so that he doesn't have to chalk it up as a failure.
So he doesn't really seem to be interested in the truth.
Well, the truth, Mr. Michaels, as is generally known, is the invention of a liar. But the fact you've got bail is a good sign. And that someone's been found to pay for it is even better. Perhaps you should have a look yourself, now that you've been released, for some clues or slip-ups in the investigation. Would be best if you could get a copy of your files.
Are you convinced that I'm innocent, Mr. Jones?
Of course, Mr. Michaels. Do you think I could represent you if I wasn't? Nevertheless, we should hurry up and find some solid evidence to prove it.
Mr. Jones, did you find out anything about my identity? The police here don't seem to be putting any effort into it.
Yes. Concerning your identity, Mr. Michaels, it's hard to prove anything at the moment. Find documents, birth certificates, that kind of thing. But don't forget to go to your therapy sessions.
How long do I have to put up with this psychotherapy?
You're gonna have to hang in there for a few more rounds at least. It's in your best interest.
The last assessment was rejected. What good can it do?
Forget about the authorities. You ever thought that you might actually need therapy?
Do you think I'm crazy?
Aren't we all? But seriously, Mr. Michael, try and do something about your mental condition. If you end up having to face a lawsuit in the States, your family's mental history isn't going to impress the jury one bit. So stop blocking shots and come out from behind your guard, man.
This somebody who you maintain means well has paid the bail anonymously. Can you find out who it was?
Yeah, no problem. But it'll take a couple of days.
You said I should have another look at my file. Is it really so easy to do that?
Well, it depends on the inspector in charge. But if you flatter him a little, he might let you have a look. Otherwise, I could request a copy and send it on to you.
That's gonna take too long. I'll try to get my hands on it myself. Whatever. I'll be in touch.
Keep your head up. Attack is the best form of defense.
At last, a ray of sunshine. I was beginning to think there were only gross-looking guys with alcohol problems living in this dump. Hi,
I know. I recognize you from the newspaper.
And you're not gonna run away screaming?
I'd have a lot of running to do if I ran away from every weirdo in this dump.
You really like living here, huh? Has anything exciting happened recently?
Apart from the fire at the castle? Wait a minute. Yeah, the espresso machine broke down.
By the way, I'm Darren. Or Adrian Gordon. Take your pick.
I'm Denise, or the one who's got no time for insane arsonists. Take your pick.
Wow. I think I prefer Denise.
All right then, Darren.
So...
Hell yeah. I'm just waiting for the right moment.
You mean when the twice-yearly bus to London stops here?
Something like that.
Has this cafe been here long? I've never noticed it before.
We were closed during the fair this year.
Is it even worth having a cafe here in the village?
You'll have to ask my dad. It's his cafe. Why do you ask? Do you want to open one too?
Yeah, sure. Right next door. A Blэк-миррор special cafe with ritual blood cappuccino and latte morbidato.
Good idea. Could have come from Murray.
Maybe I'll see you later. Shame. No donuts left. Hello? Are you out of donuts?
No, there are some in the storeroom, but they're reserved for the nice inspector. He buys them here every morning.
Of course. And what if I want one too?
Then bake one yourself.
When does the inspector usually come in?
He should have been here to pick up his donuts ages ago. He's probably been delayed by the scum of the earth. again.
Nice description.
That's what Conrad calls his clientele, not me.
Conrad?
Conrad Spooner. That's what the inspector's called. Didn't you know?
I didn't know that donuts was so popular in England.
I don't know, but I do know that Spooner loves them. Just as much as those cops in American TV shows.
And what does the dear inspector do when there aren't any donuts left?
He always gets what he wants. If need be, I bake him some.
I'd like a coffee, black.
Coming up.
I think the door leads into the storeroom. At least that's what the sign suggests. Okay, I've got to come up with something that's gonna make Spooner hang out here in the cafe for a while. A shelf full of stock for the cafe. What have we got here? Coffee, tea, juice, milk. Ah, and a package of donuts. Those have to be the donuts specially reserved for Spooner. The sponge is dripping now. I don't want to be carrying it around with me for too long. It would get rather unpleasant. A high-performance chest freezer with a glass lid. Not a lot in it. A pack of tart bases. Oh, and a box of ice cream. Mint and chocolate. The seal is in really bad shape. If it gets wet, you probably wouldn't be able to get the chest open anymore. I'll wet the sealing rubbers with the wet sponge. If you close the freezer now, the water will freeze and it'll be almost impossible to open it again without defrosting the whole thing. If I close the freezer now, I'll probably never be able to open it again. I'd rather leave it. I'll put the box of donuts in a nice visible spot in the freezer. Farewell, you donuts. Nobody's gonna be getting you out of there in a hurry. Now that ought to slow down the inspector's donut order, somewhat.
Another one of these flat days today. I could really do with someone to lift me up a little.
Edward could come along at any time. Better if we wait till this evening.
Sod Edward. Give me a couple of donuts at least.
Yeah, sure. I'll get you some. Conrad, your donuts seem to have ended up in the freezer.
Yeah? Can't you boil them in the oven for a bit?
The problem is, the lid's frozen solid.
Ah, I get it. You want me to help you warm up your frozen chest?
I think those two are gonna be busy for a while. Constable Zach seems okay. Plays by the letter of the law and all that. Can I ask you something briefly? How long are you gonna look for Angelina?
She'll be deemed missing until we find her.
Even if she's long since dead?
We haven't found her body yet, Mr. Michaels.
Spooner, your inspector, is he always so nice?
I don't know. He was in the homicide department in London until half a year ago. Then, he got redeployed here as a punishment.
That explains a lot.
Since then, he's tried everything to get back out of here. He locks people up for the smallest of misdemeanors. Good for the statistics, you see.
And you can't do anything about it?
What does a bear do about the winter? He rolls himself up and sleeps until the spring comes.
Do you believe I set fire to the castle?
Well, Mr. Michaels, you claim to be Samuel Gordon's son, and you were at the scene of the crime with a smoldering torch in your hand.
I had that to defend myself with.
Against the mysterious secret order that nobody knows about and nobody's seen?
It's mentioned in the Gordon Chronicles.
500 years ago.
Forget it.
And then there was the thing with poor Miss Valley, right? We found your tracks at the scene of the crime.
I told you, forget it. How involved were you in the investigation of my case?
I searched the sewer system and the bunker.
And you didn't find any clues?
No.
That just can't be true.
It's bloody dark down there, Mr. Michaels, and full of rats. Not for the faint-hearted.
Is there anything new on the kidnapping? Have you spoken to Tom, Bobby, or the kid in Wales?
According to the statement, Tom was at Alton Towers with Bobby at the time.
And you don't find it a little bit strange that those two went to a theme park?
The only strange thing was that Bobby was in hospital for 2 days afterwards with concussion. But we've got a medical certificate that proves that.
And what if Tom was lying?
We can't prove it. He had 2 tickets for the theme park and the paperwork from the hospital.
Damn. And the boy?
There's no one called Van Helsing in Wales.
Can you make a copy of my file and send it to my lawyer?
Didn't he get one ages ago?
He, wants to have the current version for the embassy.
Not possible.
Something wrong?
I'd forgotten. The copier gave up the ghost a few weeks back, but there's a new one on order.
Are you being serious?
It's not so bad. I have so little to do here, I could type up most of the documents.
I understand. So, would you be so kind as to type my file?
No.
And what if I fix that thing?
All right, then. You go and see what you can do with it.
Goodbye, Constable. It can't be that difficult to fix a copier. I studied it once. Well, kind of. What if we got here? The fuse has blown. Switch to turn it on, and you press the green button to copy. If I twist and connect the wires that work, it should be able to copy again. That should do it. Can I ask you something briefly?
Hmm?
The copier is working again.
Hmm?
Now, can you copy my file?
Sure. Then I'll send the copy to your lawyer.
The
copy of your file?
Then I can send it myself.
The inspector insists that no files can leave the building without authorization.
I see. Damn. Constable? When does the mail go? My lawyer needs the file as soon as possible.
I'll post it later on. It ought to be collected this afternoon.
Thanks. Goodbye, Constable. The board is just the right size. It'll go straight on top of the mailbag so that when the constable posts a letter, I can easily pull it out again. Let's see what's in here. Friday afternoon, 12:30. Oh, they must have discovered the body then. The time of death for Miss Valley was the previous evening, Thursday, between 10 and midnight. Cause of death, burned alive after a blow to the back of the head. Grim. Witness interviews. Let's see. Not important. Saw nothing. It continues. Friday, 1837. Emergency services called out. At that time, I was in the ruins of the old academy with Angelina, Lewis, and my mother. Then, Saturday, 12:06 a.m. Fire under control. At that time, I was running from the ruins in the direction of the castle. 3 bodies were retrieved. Lady Eleanor Gordon, Edward Bartholomew Bates, the butler, and Sally Wood, the cook. 1 survivor, Lady Victoria Gordon, suffering from severe smoke inhalation. Also on Saturday morning, 12:12 a.m., Darren Michaels arrested on suspicion of arson and murder of Miss Valley. Witness interviews on the subject unproductive, and Lady Victoria Gordon could not as yet be questioned. She remains in shock. After a 2-week period of hospitalization, was discharged of her own wishes to continue medical supervision at home. Hey, it says here that Murray can't remember having seen me in the hotel on Thursday evening. That can't be right. That was exactly when he threw me out of the hotel. Oh, the rat was lying. Just wait. Evidence still insufficient to charge, but strongly suspected of crime. Current state of the investigation. Darren Michaels' conduct, as well as his contradictory testimony, is currently being examined for plausibility by the psychiatric expert, Dr. Joyce Winterbottom. Here's a note to Constable Zach. If he's diagnosed as nuts, will he have to be remanded in a loony bin? Possible murder weapon, a torch, still smoldering, which was in Darren Michaels' possession when apprehended, is undergoing forensic examination. Deportation to USA not possible. Release of the suspect on bail on direction of the court. Dr. Winterbottom authorized as prime supervisory agent and point of referral. Good, then I've got 2 new goals already. Visit Victoria and see how she's doing, and let Murray know what I think. I'll write in the file so I don't forget. There are enough empty pages. I can stash the remains of my diary away with it as well. Blэk-mирror Castle. My real family's home. Now I ought to go and see Victoria. Oh, you've got a new doorbell with an intercom system.
Who's there?
My name's Adrian Gordon. I'd like to see Lady Victoria, please. Hello?
Come in, Mr. Gordon. Lady Victoria has just woken up.
Yes, of course.
Please excuse the chaos. The builders are working on the renovations.
You're looking after Lady Victoria?
Yes. I'm a trained nurse of your...
Great-grandmother.
I take care of all of your great-grandmother's needs.
Thank you, Miss...
Angeline. Sister Angeline.
Thank you, Sister Angelina. Can I just ask you something? How is Lady Victoria?
As well as can be expected. She's not speaking to me, unfortunately. Perhaps you'll have better luck.
Do you think that being in the middle of a construction site is the right place for such an old lady?
Lady Victoria was most insistent that she be moved back into the castle. She said that she'd been born here and that she wanted to die here. And the walls here are rather thick. She doesn't hear that much. At least she hasn't complained as of yet.
God, it looks like a death chamber in here. Oh, I can feel a chill right to my heart. I can only hope Victoria gets better soon. Victoria, my great-grandmother, and the only member of my family I've got left. Hello, Victoria? It's me, Adrian. Did you put up the bail for me? Victoria, are you okay? Victoria, I need your help. Really. The police don't believe me. How can I make them understand that I'm Adrian Gordon when the name Darren Michaels is printed in my passport? Victoria, you're the only one who can help me. Please. Are you being well looked after? I'm sorry about what happened to Bates, Eleanor, and Sally. It must be awful for you.
Adrian, tell me the truth. Was it you? Did you start the fire?
No, Victoria, it wasn't me. It was Lewis. He did what Angelina told him to do. She was behind all the murders. It was her who also lured me here because she needed me for, you know, the curse which only affects the male Gordons. She wanted to achieve what Samuel was trying to prevent. She was possessed by it. She lied to me, to all of us.
What's all that, Adrian? You sound like a coward. It wasn't me. It was Angelina. Why should I believe you? Why have you come here at all? Things were going well for you in America. If you'd only just stayed there, Bates would still be alive. Eleanor, Catherine, Miss Valley. You're too weak. You can't stand up to Mordred. His ghost rides you like a child rides a rocking horse. Since you've turned up, there's been nothing but calamity. Just disappear again, Adrian. Do me a favor and go back to where you came from before the other half of the castle goes up in flames.
What have you done to her?
Nothing at all. I've been talking with her, that's all.
You'd better go now. Your great-grandmother needs peace and quiet.
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't want that. I'm sorry.
Just go, please.
Now, it's not just everyone in the village that hates me. The only remaining member of my family, too. Real good job, Darren. If I wasn't already doing it, I'd be signing up for therapy right away. Let's see what Murray's got to say in his defense.